Law beat.
Check 1 2. We got a mic check 1 2. How we doing? How we doing? If I'm good in the comments, y'all already know. The first what we do, like the first 10, 15 minutes is more of a live stream experience before we really get into the nitty-gritty of what we're here for. If you're in the building, please let me know how I'm doing. If I'm too loud. Last time y'all sent me off, I was like, no, man, you sound real good. Then I went back and listened to it. I was all distorted. You know what I mean? Want to make sure I'm good. Want to make sure it's real in the field. Y'all can see up here by the with the header what type of show we gonna have tonight. Very, very special guest. Talk about something real dope, real epic. Real important, for lack of a better word. But before we even get into that, I want to make sure that my levels is good. I'm looking good on my dash. Y'all know I'm learning something new every week with this thing. I got my new mixer board, like y'all saw last week. I went back and listened to the playback. I sounded better than the week before with the echo and the audio and all that shit, man. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling real good. We're gonna get off. Like I said, we're gonna get off into something real. Into something real. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm good. All right, good look. Also, guys, while we're talking, guys, I want you guys. You see up here where it says Facebook user. If you guys want me to be able to see your comment, for some of y'all that might not be that deep for y'all, but if you want me to see your comment, it's a link in the Facebook group, especially like if you inside the Players Pit Facebook group, you should be able to see a link at the bottom. When you click it, you got to give StreamYard authorization to use your username, well, to use your Facebook name. So anytime that you guys comment and you see just Facebook user and I show it up here, I'm never going to be able to see it unless y'all hit that link. FYI, I say it every week. Just want to let y'all know, because like I be looking like, yo, like who is that? And I don't be knowing exactly who it is. So I definitely want to be making sure that y'all get the proper love, because y'all be lit in the comments. Y'all definitely be lit in the comments. It's been enough. Speaking of lit, it's been another lit week inside of the pit, man. I'm finna ban the word elite messing with y'all, man. I'm so tired of this word, man. I'm so tired of this word, man. When did it all start with elite? Who was it for? Did it start with Cooper Kupp? When y'all was passing out the elite word, did it start with Cooper Kupp? I'm trying to think. Was it Cooper Kupp? Was it DeMar DeRozan? It was one of them two when it kicked off with the elite word, man. But listen, man, God, every time you turn around, it's elite, bruh. I'm over it. I think Cooper Kupp is. Let me clear the air right now. Lamar, that's who it started off with. Lamar. Let me clear the air right now, man. I think Cooper Kupp is super duper cold. I really do. I think he raw. I think he. Oh damn! I almost said elite because y'all been saying it so much, but I think he cold, man. I think he real cold. I feel the same way Lamar. I feel like Lamar is real cold. You know. Y'all be thinking when we say that guys aren't elite that we saying that they bad. I didn't see not one person in the pit say that Cooper Kupp is trash or say that he overrated or anything of that nature. Everybody's saying that Buddy is very, very good. You know what I mean? Of course, I think I saw one person say, well, you know, he all right. I mean, you take that however you want it. You know, I consider the source. You know what I mean? But I think Cooper Kupp is cold, man. I really do. Cold and elite don't mean the same to me. Like, to some people, you know, cold, raw, and, you know, all those adjectives that we have, you know what I mean, for athletes, it mean the same as elite. But for me, nah, man. I don't pass out that word. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't pass it out. And y'all see me with my new get up today, man. Merry Christmas, man. Y'all make sure that y'all have yourself a happy holiday. If you do celebrate the holidays, a lot of people don't celebrate the holidays, but if you do celebrate the holidays, Merry Christmas. Y'all see, I got the little Christmas tree in the back or whatever. It's actually, I ain't even gonna hold you. I want to say that I did it myself, but I ain't even do this shit at all. I ain't do it at all. So I ain't even gonna do that. Let's get it going. Elite should be measured by consistency. I agree. I think it's that. Do I think it's possible? Yes. I was just about to say that, but a person can have an elite season. I was just about to say that. I think it's possible for a guy to have a very, very elite, like could have an elite stretch, an elite season. But to me, because you have an elite stretch or you have one elite season, it does not peg you as being an elite period. But that's just me. That's just me. But I think he's having a shit. You can't even really say he's having forget elite. He's having a historical season. Like a historical season. But I don't think that automatically puts him like, in like Devontae Adams category or, D-Hop category or anything like that. But I don't think that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's no shame not being better than Devontae Adams or, D-Hop. I don't think there's no shame in that. But he's having an amazing season though, for real. So, because I really want to get in this bag, y'all. I'm not going to hold this too long, man. I'm about to, unless y'all want to keep it going for about 3 to 5 minutes, because I do got a little time. It's 6:39. I got a little time. I'm sitting up here looking at my time. Again, I found my flow now with the live stream, y'all. Remember when we first started, I think I was doing too much. I had PowerPoints and all. Like, man, look, we ain't even finna do all that. We ain't even finna do all that, man. I ain't ESPN. I ain't First Take. I ain't Get Up. I ain't doing all of that. At the end of the day, man, the content is going to be the content. I know what I want to do with the platform. If you guys have any input or anything of that nature, I'm always going to be, you can touch me. Pause. You can email the Players Pit. You can shoot me a message inside of the group. You can shoot me a DM or inbox, and I promise you, man, like if it makes sense to me, I have no problem incorporating it, because this live stream is just as much as the picks, as much as the forums, y'all's as it is mine, you know what I'm saying? So whatever I can do to always level up and try to make it better week by week, I'm definitely gonna do that. With that being said, my mouse is tripping. Like I said, the first half of the show, the first 10 to 15 minutes is always gonna be basically a live stream experience. Before I always bring my guest on and we shoot the shit on whatever issues that we want to talk about that's rooted in sports. Last week we had the transgender athletes in sports, and they should be accommodated show. Shout outs to Isaiah Johnson, Snacks, J. Cole's super dope show. I just released that yesterday. The week before we had the criticism of the Black Athlete show with my man Vino and Dave. I'm gonna call him the Players Pit villain. My man Dave, you know what I'm saying? That was a dope show. I did Women in Sports the week before that, so 3 weeks ago with She Said What She Said co-host Sherry Green and y'all already know B Labrinthia. So yeah, man, like I'm gonna keep trying to level it up week by week, crispy it up, make it look a little dope. But when you catch it on the playback on the YouTube, it's always gonna look nice. Also, about to start rolling out the content with the guests into DSP form, right? It's a DSP form. You know what I mean? We definitely gonna start rolling that out on DSP form. I want to say if not next week, for sure by the turn of the new year. So all the shows that I've done thus far in the in the live stream are now gonna be in audio form. You're gonna be able to find it on your Spotify's, on your Apple Music's. Apple Podcasts. And whatever you use to listen to your podcast, that's where you're gonna find it. Shout out to my man Rink in the building on the YouTube, man. Definitely got to start getting this YouTube channel going. Just started a new YouTube channel too. If you don't know, man, the YouTube channel, the Players Pit Show. It is not the Players Pit with D-Son, because YouTube have this weird way of how you gonna use But anyway, the Players Pit Show, the Players Pit Show. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because all I got to say that's kind of blowing me, and I love y'all though, we got almost 500 members in the pit. We got almost 500 members inside of the group, but they ain't got 500 subscriptions, man. And
that's not how the game is played.
That ain't how the game played, Chief. It's not how the game played. I'm trying to take the Players Pit up in 2022. I think I found the lane here, especially with the content that we doing, with the dialogue that we have in the group with everybody, man. So, yeah, man, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube because I'm telling you, I'm going to start sweating y'all. It's 500 people in that forum, and they ain't got 500 subscriptions. I swear for Jesus, I promise you, you're going to log in New Year's Eve, and the pit going to be gone. Stop playing with me, bro. Like, stop playing with me. I need my subs. I need my subs. Now, without further ado, though, I'm about to go ahead, cut to this quick break. Shout out to my man Slim. I'm not sure Slim's in the building. He's typically in the building like every week. Let me turn myself down. I feel like I'm getting a little excited. But if y'all not rocking with 76 Eats, man, you know my man Slim, man, food blogger renowned, you know, extraordinaire. He definitely doing this thing. When we come back from this break, I'm gonna bring on my guests. I got a special one for y'all too. We gonna deep dive. Oh yeah, we gonna deep dive. We'll be right back.
What's up? This is Big Prime for Prime Taco, home of the famous hot Cheeto burger. And if you ain't rocking with 76 Eats, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Maybe he was in the bathroom or something. Are you in the building?
Huh?
You in the building now? You didn't know I started.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay. You all good, man. Shout outs to everyone. First off, man, welcome back to the Players Pit with D-Son, man. This is the Players Pit Power Hour. Every Wednesday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. live in the Players Pit community on Facebook, aka the Players Pit with D-Son, YouTube, the Players Pit Show, the League of Extraordinary Chicagoans, Twitch, LEC Pod Network. Oh man, I'm getting real good with the plug. Oh my God, man, WGN put me on. But with that being said, man, special guest today, man. Special guest, non-profit founder, man. Wide receiver extraordinaire. You understand what I'm saying? Head coach for Morgan Park. Give it up for my man CJ Chris James. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How you, man?
Man, I'm all good, man. It's first of all, man, I just want to tell you, I want to give you your flowers.
No, don't do that to me, man.
I'll give you your flowers. The first time, and I didn't know CJ at the time. But anybody who knows the Flag Football League, at the time it was CBL.
That sounds like
at the time it was CBL. It wasn't A2. I hope I'm not showing my age to anybody. But it was just this dude out there, like, just jumping over everybody. Like, it was different. It was different.
Hey.
Like, you got receivers out there. You be like, yeah, dude, cold. You be like, and then you might even say, yeah, dude, like, when we talk about elites.
I was just thinking that. We ain't saying that word no more today. We're not saying that word no more today.
Hey,
I don't want no. I get involved on the Players Pit and all the debates. I ain't getting in that. Before I could even make a comment, I say, no, I ain't doing this. I'm going to leave that up to Dedrick.
I want you to shout outs to Dedrick too. I want you to know though, before we get off, I'm gonna put your feet to the fire with a question though. I just want you to know that. You know what I mean? Before we get up out of here.
Oh shit.
But yo.
Okay, cool.
I want everybody to know how we even got here, right? I want to say it was last week. If it wasn't last week, it was like last week. Travis Hunter,
Yeah.
number one recruit in the nation, signed with Jackson State University, historically black college, HBCU. Shout out to the HBCUs, by the way. Got my man Prime over there, Deion Sanders, the greatest cornerback of all time. People also consider him one of the greatest, not just one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. Well, the greatest.
One of the greatest athletes.
One of the greatest athletes of all time. Like one of the greatest athletes of all time. So he's in the HBCU, specifically at Jackson State, moving to New York.
Jackson State.
And it was a big uproar, not just in the pit, but in the sporting world.
Everywhere in the sporting world. Everywhere.
Yeah. About what's about like, is the tide about to start changing, for
changing,
changing for athletes now going into staying within the HBCU realm,
HBCU,
colleges and things of that nature. And while it was exploding in the pit with debates and things like that, CJ actually ended up hitting me like, yo, like, bro, like, I'm about to go on a tangent,
I ain't about to,
Instead of that, man, let's just do a show. I was like, you know what, man, say less. And that's just to let y'all know how accessible I am for anybody to come up on here. Like, when you hit me up and say, like, yo, like, I got, like, and it's gonna add value to the show, to the stream, to the content. Like, okay, let's do it. I was like, yo, can you do next week? You know what I mean? And we about to get straight to it with that, man. So first off, I want to know, and my first question to you, C, is how do you feel more so about the signing? Like, do you think it's a big coup for Jackson State? I'm gonna start there. I don't want to overload the first question, but do you think it's a great move for the college, for the university?
I think it's a big deal for them. Like, don't get me wrong, it's only, and I'm not gonna be negative. I'm gonna try not to be negative. It's only every year, it's only 25 to 30 5-star athletes. That's why it's like a big deal for you to get one. So for like them to get one, knowing what I know they up against, is like a huge deal, like a big deal. But with the NIL, it make it easier to swindle some of those kids to persuade them to going from a Power 5. So for Jackson State, even for Travis, like to be deal. It's a huge deal. I'm never gonna downplay that. That's big. Like, you get one of the top 30 players in the country. Most of the 5-stars got like talent to go to the NFL. All of them got all the talent to go to it's the other stuff that come with it that say if they're gonna go to the league. That's just is what it is.
Okay. Guys, I want to ask you guys a question in the stream, because I'm not sure if the stream is acting up or if the, you know what I mean, because it might be my phone. I didn't know if it was mine or not, but we're gonna keep going. As long as you can hear me, we good. As long as you can hear me, we good. We'll keep it going. Now you speak of being a great move for Jackson. Now I want to double down on that, right, and ask you, what about the kid? What about Travis? Do you think that, and we just have a candid conversation, do you think it's a great move for him as an athlete, as a potential pro?
That's why I feel like you don't know yet. Like, I can't say like yes or no. It's gonna be about like, one, how they develop him. Like, because at the end of the day, it still takes 2 to 3 years to get ready to play in the NFL. Do he got the potential to play in the NFL? Yeah. Yes. And the big thing is, what's it gonna look like his freshman and sophomore year? How are they gonna develop him in the weight room? How are they gonna develop him in the classroom, on the field, from a competitive standpoint? The one thing like he not gonna get is like, he's not gonna play against pros every week. Like, he's not gonna play against pros or potential pros every week. So could that slow down his development? Possibly. I think you just gotta, with him, you don't know if it's a good move for him yet. You just don't. It's just too many things that gotta happen. It's a lot of things that gotta happen if you go to a Power 5 for you to play. You just don't. You can't say that it's a good move for him. Is it a good move for Jackson State? Hell yeah. That notoriety, that kids coming to the school, that all of that. That's great. Everybody talked about it on signing day. Did nobody talk about Alabama recruiting class? Everybody talked about Jackson State. Yeah. Like, that's great for them. But for Travis, he got his NIL deal. You don't know what his deal is. You don't know. It could be 1.5. I know for sure it ain't nothing for less than $500,000. Nothing less than that. Easily. Off the rip.
I think that and this was a big debate inside of the pit a lot of people were saying, well, like it's probably not going to hurt him because, well, they were emphatically saying it's not going to hurt him because he was the number one guy for a reason.
Football don't work like that. No.
And this is something that I kind of want to get into because I feel like, and I said this in the pit, and I also, when I talked to a few people where I was talking about the differences to me. And you can feel free because you know a lot more about this than me. The differences to me. I feel like it's different for, say, like a number one recruit in basketball.
Because you're only gonna be there for 6 months.
You might only be there for 6 months. And right?
This is the thing about like football. It's such a physical game. Like he's not the body he got right now is not the body he's gonna play in the NFL. It's not the body that he's gonna play college with. He can't play college with the body here right now. And that's where like the difference comes in at like from a Power 5 to HBCU and the resources that they got in the weight room and like how they gonna develop him. He might be 180 right now. He gonna play at 195, 202. Mm-hmm. How fast can Jackson State's lifting program get him there? Yeah, he a top-notch athlete, but he still has to be developed from a football standpoint, physically for real, because the guys that he playing against in high school being a 5-star player is not the guys that he finna play in college, one, and it's damn sure not the people that he gonna play. So you can't say that it's a guarantee. You can't. Like, okay, if you look at, let's take a receiver in the league that's dominated, that was a 2-star player, that was a first-round pick, Justin Jefferson. Do you think the LSU program developed him? If he go to Southern or if he go to LSU, what developed him better? Mm-hmm. Like what developed him? And this is where the resources that I wanted to get into and saying, like, if you've never been to one of these schools or never seen like what it's like and what Jackson State don't have and what LSU or even Florida State, because they pulled them from Florida State,
right? What
they have and how they got to keep that kid happy. They got to keep that kid happy, because if not, he gone. He on the first flight out of there. Like, I'll give you a resource. So he got offered by Alabama. Yeah. Alabama has a chef in the weight room. So I'm saying you developing meals for my body. You're not gonna get that at Jackson State. Mm-hmm. Why you think they producing like they are? Because they still developing the kids. Like, it's not like we gotta see. I don't want to say it's a bad move, but you really gotta see. It's such like it's a big ass gap between HBCUs. It's so many like things you can hit on that's in between it. I think that people got too excited. Mm-hmm. And saying it's just like, it's not even the beginning. It's like the preface to the book. Okay, you got him. What you know how much stuff you got to do next? Or what you got to do to keep him? And what if he get drafted in the 6th or 7th round? Mm-hmm. Then what people gonna say about him now? If he a 21-year-old, can he mentally deal with that? Like, damn, I went the 6th round. Somebody gonna say to him, if you would have went to Florida, you would have been in the 1st round.
Right. Yeah.
Now he done lost on $9 million.
Yeah.
So I just think they got a lot of work to do. They got a shit ton of work to do.
As somebody as yourself, who played at the University of Illinois, I'm sure had other D1 offers.
Yeah.
And now coaching, I'm pretty sure maybe even hooked up your kids that you coach with, with visits and things of that nature. I'm not sure if you've been on the visits with your kids as well.
Oh yeah, I've been on a good amount of visits.
I want you to kind of really expand on that gap difference where you talk about like resources and facilities and things of that nature, right?
Right.
Because for casuals and somebody like me who I've never been on a college visit as an athlete, right?
Right.
So I don't know the difference between, say, a USC, a Florida, Miami, and a Jackson State or South Carolina State or anything of that nature. Can you kind of expand on what the difference is? Like as an athlete, you walk you walk on campus and you see these different facilities, you see these different resources. How big is that gap?
Well, let's the first one, the biggest one, right, is money, right? They're FCS school. So a lot of people don't know this one thing. at D1 AA's, at D1A's, let's take Max and let's take Power Fives, Group of Five schools. They can only offer you a full ride. They can't offer you, once they offer you a scholarship, they get 85 full rides. That's it. At Jackson State, at the FCS level, they get 63, but they can break him up. So they can give Travis Hunter 60%. They can give him a full ride, but that means that roster gonna be slighted. Like it's gonna be somebody only getting 20%, and you got 110 kids on the team. The next thing, that's the biggest thing between Group of Fives, Power Fives, and FCS, because they're FCS. They don't get a cost of attendance check every month. What that means is if you had a Power Five or a Group of Five, you get a scholarship check every month based on cost of attendance. Now let's take Michigan State, for example, or Florida State. The kids on the team get a check for $3,200 a month. To pay your rent, and the rest yours. You don't get that. Deion said that, like, we got to do something about, because he know, like, that's the biggest issue, like just money. And then kids still need financial aid. So if you go to a Group of Five, you getting your Pell Grant. So not only you getting the $3,200, you getting the $5,000 into your pocket. And when I was at Illinois, we had this thing called the Opportunity Fund where they gave us another $3,000. So people were saying college athletes wasn't getting paid, but we was getting some money. On top of that, at a place like, let's just take NIU. They giving you 3 meals a day through the football team, not through the dorms or the meal cards or whatever. I never used that. So you just take that, right? You take that for example. Then they probably have one academic support person for the whole team. Wow. But if you go to a group of five or back, they got one for every position group. Yeah. So kids that's struggling, and we ain't talking about the weight room, we ain't talking about the staff. At Bama, they had coaches that was former head coaches that wanted to get their buyout money, that was analysts. So they self-scout in the team. Like, I can't even begin to tell. Like, when we lift in the weight room, it's 2 athletes per one coach. 2 on a 115-person team. So at Jackson State, you in the weight room, it's 2 coaches in there for all 30. So where's the individual attention you need? So that's why you see a kid come out of high school and he 170, 185. And then you see him again when he come home and he 210. Because when he left the weight room, he got a meal that was for him. He got whatever he needed. He could come into the stadium and get whatever he wanted. On top of the money he already got in his pocket. I haven't even talked about, okay, when Deion got to Jackson State, they put $3 million into facilities. Dope. Illinois just spent $80 million. Like it was Illinois. And I went there.
And that's Illinois.
That's Illinois. They spent 80. They spent $80 million on a new football facility. So kids, the anti-gravity chairs and all of that. So yeah, you might get Travis Hunter. And the thing now is you have to keep him happy, because the one thing I know about the kids, he gonna talk to his homie at Georgia. Yeah, we getting ready to play Florida on ABC at 7:00. Hey, I'm getting ready to play in a national championship game. You get per diem. They're gonna get them kids a per diem of $4,200 for the week. What did they make it? Then they get another $4,200 and they playing in the Natty, which is the other problem with the HBCUs.
They don't. Yeah.
Why the fuck don't they play in the FCS playoff?
Yeah, because I think I saw somebody say that in the group. I was like, wait, how does that even work?
I don't even know how that happens or how that works. So boom, you Travis Hunter. Who are you playing every week? So now you get to school, and y'all going to play Southern, and the stands empty at halftime. And you looking like, damn, like I thought they was coming to see me. Not when you playing at Jackson State, because my best experiences wasn't playing at home. It was playing at Michigan State, playing at Penn State, playing at Ohio State, or going up to Nebraska and playing them. I remember playing against Ray Rice, and it was packed because he was a Heisman candidate. Yeah. Like, so what is his playing experience gonna be like? Do you know how that kid gonna feel? I was the #1 player in the country and everybody just left at halftime. I've never been to an HBCU school and seen that, but everybody say the same thing, like that they leave. So I feel good about them. I just know, like, man, I feel like it's unfair to Deion the amount of pressure we finna put on him. Like they got this kid, then they go on TV and get their ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's next? And then the Georgia coach is gonna keep calling, "Hey kid,
Transfer
come on.
role. Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting no." He got his NIL deal. He's straight. What about his
What
teammate?
about everybody else? Yeah.
What about his teammate that's on the 50%? That's second in the team in catches. To be like, Deion, where my cheese at?
And that can breed all sorts of shit. Jealousy.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like,
man,
you know
you get in the locker room, they don't like you. It's like, I'm happy for them. I don't want to sound negative. I just been on these visits, and if you get it, everybody in the pit, go on YouTube and look at Alabama. Alabama ain't losing no recruit. Florida State some shit right now, like some shit.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, and that kid got his money. He had to make a big splash marketing wise to get that money. That's cool. That's great for him. But how is he? You got to develop him. Like, you have to develop him. Like, who is Diggs play for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Right? He having a great year. How did he get better? Who is he playing against every week? Who did he practice against every day?
That's something
He
else too,
practiced
right
against. He practiced against Devontae Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ruggs,
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jeudy every day. Then he had one weekend where he played against Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, who ate his ass up, and Terrence Marshall. Then he playing every week. That's him getting better. How is he developing?
He's playing every week in the SEC.
He playing every week in the SEC. So he playing against the kid from Southern. Like, he gonna eat it. He gonna tear him. He's just way more talented than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm happy for Deion, but I know the pressure that's about to come, even directly from that kid. Like, yo, what's up? Why we ain't getting nothing to eat? But Deion gonna do that for Jackson State. Deion could do that at Jackson State. What's homie that used to be the offensive coordinator for the Bengals that's just left?
Yeah, Hugh Jackson.
He can't do that shit. You can't do that. That ain't finna. Man, them people got man.
And that's why, I want to touch on two things. And that's why I don't believe that, D1, like the big D1 programs, hell, I don't even think and you correct me, I don't even think the mid-majors are really bugging too much, because it's like, okay, like you got one, but we can get like 16 or 17 more of these guys.
Yeah.
And
so your other 35 stars, where did they go?
Where do they go?
Okay, we lost one kid. And remember what I told when I called you on the phone? I said, you're seeing Deion. You're seeing Deion. Like, that happened. What is their response going to be?
Mm-hmm.
What's their, like, okay, we're going to make sure that never happen again.
Yeah, because the
very next day was the bill, right?
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, the very next day when I talked to you, the bill passed.
The bill passed. They passed law. You can't push a kid with an NIL deal to go to a school. Oh, okay. What's the deal? Like that?
Speaking of NIL, I always thought that the NIL was going to be one of those things that was going to possibly like bridge the gap between like the smaller programs and the bigger.
No, it's going to make it worse. Right? It's going to make it worse.
I didn't really think about it and say like, well, now we ain't got to hide that we can play these athletes. Like, what?
Hey, listen, man. To tell you the truth, if Tyler Perry don't get involved with somebody with some bees get involved with the HBCUs, it could get out of hand. It can get out of, like, for example, what's Michigan playing in the national? The school getting $20 million.
Yep.
They're getting $20 million. If they go to the next game, they get another 15, 16. They got to split 50% with 50% go to the school, 50% go to the conference. Mm-hmm. So what you think their answer going to be? What do you think Harbaugh's answer going to be? Or it's a long way to listen. If it work out for Travis and he go in the first round, then you might open the side gate a little bit. I'm just, man, listen. We talking about 17, 18-year-old kids. Mm-hmm. 17 or 18-year-old kids. I've been on a visit to these places. And when you go to the HBCUs, Jackson State is the one that stands out because of Deion. The rest of them, remember, Doug Williams went back to Grambling and was talking about we need to replace the floor. Doug Williams went back to Grambling. The kids at Howard is complaining about the dorms. They went on a protest. You think that got something to do with the $288 million facility they just put down at Bama? Like, that's in recruiting. I'll tell you the truth. I've talked to Power. They're not worried about that. That's good for Travis. That's great for Travis.
Yeah,
like, that's how they feel. That's great for Deion. It's great for Travis. But they're not worried. Like,
I don't see how, because it's like the talent pool, like with these 4 and 5 stars, it's like so immense for like all of the teams like in the country, and it's like I can't see it. Like, look at Alabama. Like, I think this week they signed like the top 2 guys in the transfer portal.
See, now the transfer portal is what's gonna fuck some things up.
Can you elaborate on that?
That's gonna fuck.
Snacks mentioned something like that in the group as well.
Because it goes back to this, right? Not to cut you off.
No, do your thing. You know more about it than me.
Kids want to play up. Kids don't want to play down.
Mm-hmm.
And every kid think he better, right? The MAC freshman of the year at NIU, he led the MAC in rushman. He the MAC freshman of the year. He put himself in the transfer portal because he want to play in the Power 5.
Yeah.
He want to go up. He want, like, damn, I think I could play up. But I'm here to tell you, you can't. It was a reason why you got evaluated the way you did. Mm-hmm. Like, and he potentially could be. It's a lot of things going on. I don't want to down that kid or whatever, but
absolutely,
kids still want to transfer up. Like, a kid of mine at a D3, leading the team in catches. I want to go to D1AA. I'm out. When it's like, damn, like, you could stay and be a big fish in a small pond and do your thing and get your numbers and break records in, because the talent pool at that level, man. I've been in them rooms. Or I give you the example. Laquan Treadwell was the first receiver I trained, and we went down to he had Ole Miss, Bama. It came down to Ole Miss, Bama, and LSU, and he was like, "I want to make my name at Ole Miss for whatever the case may be." You know, he came in, SEC freshman of the year, second team All SEC, come back after injury, first round pick. Laquan 6'3", Laquan 6'3", 212, 4'5", 4'6", a dog. Well, you could compete with him. You trying to transfer up, like, he just got some things that guy made, and then he gets to the NFL level. He have his struggles or whatever, but he landed on his feet. Now and he was a 5-star.
Yeah,
he was a 5-star. He got drafted in the first round, and Adam Thielen played over him for whatever reason. I'm just, man, it's the transfer portal gonna get some kids' feelings hurt because they not as good as they think they are. It's just. Man,
where do you bringing it up? I want to talk to you like on a coach level, right? Do you ever have like those candid, unadulterated conversations with like?
I kind of got a method to it. The way I do it is, I say, okay, give me your 5 schools you think you could play at. Kids say some outrageous shit, right? So I say, go to the last 3 years, pick 5 players that played your position. Watch your tape, watch his tape. Watch his high school tape, watch your tape. Watch his high school tape, watch your tape. Watch it compared to yours and see what they doing that you ain't doing. And then tell me what you think. Kids come right back. First thing kids on offense, they had a ball in their hand, they say, man, they score every time they touch that bitch. Did you get, like, if you getting recruited, the biggest red flag you could ever have is you got caught when you got out in the open. That's the biggest red flag you could ever have. You got caught when you got in the open. If you can't run past them, what the hell makes you think you can run past them? Because I'm going to tell you, right, everybody at that level can run.
I'm about to say
everybody at that level can run. Everybody at that level can run. So if you can't run past them, and they did that in high school, now you ain't getting recruited, fam. You ain't getting that ain't your school. Go down a level, repeat the same process. Okay, these are schools I like. Okay, I'm compared to them. I'll reach out to the coach. I let the kid tell me, because if he say, like, I want to play at these schools, okay, I'll reach out. I'll still send your tape and tag him and let him know, like, hey, go out there. Go to the one-day camps. Colleges have one-day camps all the time where the coach out there, you can work out in front of him. He can watch your tape in person, and he'll tell you right away. Them coaches going to tell you because they don't want to be bothered with you. You can't play here.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a good method of tough love, because I do feel like as a coach, you have to be like I feel like you owe it to the kid as well, like to just be like as honest with them as possible.
Yeah. But
You know
I'm
what I mean?
big
You
on.
don't want to send kids off. You know what I mean? And have
Yeah.
them, and have them, walking around with like
Yeah,
crushed dreams and things. Of
I
that
do
nature.
that.
You want to steer them in the right direction.
Yeah, I do that because I'm big on building confidence. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm big on, this is what you needed. Whatever you think you can do it. Like, especially at the high school level. Like, you get a confident kid. If he think he can do it, he gonna do it. If you get a kid that's not confident, like, you in trouble. Even if he's talented. If he don't believe he can do it, you in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I kind of want to double back and go back to the whole HBCU closing the gap thing, because we both agree that it's a long way to go. So what do you think needs to happen for that gap? Because I know you mentioned earlier that maybe if like Travis Hunter still goes in the first round,
Right.
maybe you open up the side door a little bit, right? So
Right.
maybe you now have a few more. Maybe you have a few more top kids in the country decide that they want to go to an HBCU.
yeah.
To that nature, right? But what do you think needs to happen over the course of, say, maybe 3, 5, 7 years for that gap to completely kind of be like this? Because I'm of the belief that, with all due respect, I don't feel like that gap can never be this way, because I feel like you'll never be able to out Alabama a team like Alabama, out Ohio State.
Right. So the thing is, one, it come down to money. Like, honestly, it literally come down to like dollars. And you could look at colleges and look at their recruiting budget and what they got. Mm-hmm. If you give somebody, like, people always up here say the CPS, send the kids to HBCUs. The HBCUs don't come up here. They don't. Like, I'm sitting in the office. They recruiting budget don't allow them to. That's what's crazy. Like, they would like to, but they can't get up here to fly up here, to send mail, to talk to a kid. Their credit card limit ain't that high. The coach at Ohio State, he got an unlimited credit card. He could take as many coaches out to dinner if he wanted to. He could take as many high school coaches. He could take as many trips. He could do that. And how many coaches they sit out on the road? Like, the NCAA changed the rule for Power Fives that you could send as many coaches out on the road as you wanted to. So instead of the 9 position coaches, Michigan had like 30 coaches on the road at one time. GAs, analysts. HBCUs just don't have their recruiting budget. And when you get the kids down there, do you got a nap? Like, all big schools got like a nap lounge. They got like a refuel and restore station. You got to put money into the facilities, and you got to put money into recruiting. Like, HBCUs don't recruit the North just because they recruiting budget don't allow them to. They can't fly up here. They can't get that many flights where they stay in their local hometown. So the coach at Ohio State, I talked to the coach at Northwestern.
Yeah.
At Northwestern, he flew. He told me he was going to a school in Arizona at 8 a.m. in the morning. Him and Coach Fitz flew back to Chicago privately. Then he drove to see me. Then that night, he flew back out to go to Iowa to see a kid that had signed. They got that kind of money where they could see all their recruits in 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So that kid that, like, damn, I just seen they were getting in a recruiting battle with Iowa, they could go see him. The HBCUs can't do that. They don't have that kind of Not only that, you see kids on their bed with all the mail. That shit costs. Shit costs for Jackson State to be able to send all that mail out, send everything out. That recruiting budget, it gotta, and they just don't have it. A coach will tell you, we just don't have it. Like, I just see somebody, it's gonna take them to look up the top recruiting budgets. All the teams in the top 10. In the top 10 in recruiting. You got to put that money up there, and it's gonna come back like Deion did all of that. And then they played on ABC. So they're gonna get a portion of that money from that game because they played in that bowl game. They're gonna get a portion of that money. So that's why it's a rat race and Power 5 where everybody bigging up their facilities because they want that money. They want that money that come in on the back end. And it could happen. But like everybody say, the black athlete do got to go to HBCUs. Like they do when they can, but I'm telling you, if my people in the players pit, we're gonna take a recruiter down to visit the Illinois, and I'm gonna show you. We could go. I'm gonna take the kids anyway. Anybody that want to go, and then you're gonna be like, okay, damn, like this is ridiculous. This like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that they get. You can eat all day. all day. Like, they're going to give you 8. When I was at Illinois, I had 40 pair of cleats. For no reason. Hundreds of pairs of gloves. For no reason. I want a new pair. I don't like the way these feel. That was in 2010. That's when we can only wear grays. And then you go to Oregon, they're giving you brand new Jordan 8s, custom ones.
Don't get started on Oregon.
Man, Shorty putting them online. They going for $2,300. They selling them. He ain't keeping those. I could tell. There's a kid, Bennett Williams, that I trained that was at Illinois. He from Cali. He put his online as soon as he got the box. Extra $3,000 in his $2,500 in his pocket.
And you know, the thing with this with the whole with the comment, it would take our proud Black alum celebrities and athletes to pour money in the HBCUs. And when I think about like the biggest black celebrity athlete, I think we can agree that's Michael Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can agree that's Michael Jordan, right? And I saw somebody in the pit, it might have been Jay Coates. I was like, I always go back to this because I was a huge Illinois fan in 05. When
that was one of the main reasons why I went. They brought me to the game. I'm like, live.
Yeah, like when Illinois played on North Carolina. And and I know it's not the same, but to me, if I felt some kind of way because Mike played in Chicago. I know Chicago but Mike came out wearing powder blue, right?
Yeah.
And Mike always shows love to North Carolina, like all the time. Like he blood, sweat, and tears. And somebody was like, well, you know, how you know he won't give it to like North Carolina Tech or whatever. I'm like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like,
he don't have no emotional attachment to it.
He doesn't have an emotional attachment.
He'll give them a couple of mil. He gonna give North Carolina. He gonna open the
100 mil.
He gonna open the checkbook up. Like, hey, like, what you need to do?
However many zeros that you want, put it down, and you guys.
But that's the thing with that's the thing with the big white institution. They don't have to call Mike. Mm-hmm. They don't have to call Mike. They could call somebody else. Like, and that's the issue. Like, if Travis Hunter is one, I talk to coaches, they're not mad. They like, okay, that's good for Travis. We'll wait till the next. Now, if you start to see like 5, 6, 7, then they're gonna start dumping. The amount of money they're gonna start coming out of pocket, it's gonna be ridiculous. It's only one kid in the top 100, and that was Travis Hunter in the top 100 that signed with HBCU. Only one. That was it.
And that ain't enough.
That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
And
that ain't enough.
For me, let's say that does happen. Do you think that can be a situation where it can kind of like completely screw up college athletics?
No.
Like when you start to like pour like so much money into the athletes and things like that.
No, because they've been doing it. I'm telling you the truth, they've been doing it. Like they've been doing it. They ain't like, you just see it start coming out. Like, it's people in here from the players fit, that people that we know. Think about this. Cam what they said, Cam was gonna get $200,000 from Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Fuck make you think him changed his mind? The fuck make you think him changed? Nobody said the amount for Auburn. Nobody, but he's getting 200.
You probably got 5.
There's some people in here that I can't say. I know the number. But on the back end of it, right? On the back end of it, they went to a natty.
Yeah.
So did they return on their investment? Like, did they return on their investment? Like, man, listen.
I always felt like these
Reggie got 300. That came out. Reggie got 300.
Can you imagine the bank, that USC team with Lindell White, Matt
Man,
White,
that's what I called you on the phone
Reggie
and I
Bush.
told you that day. When I said to somebody else, LA didn't have NFL teams. Until SC got bad, LA didn't, because they didn't need one.
Yeah, they were the NFL team.
Yeah, we went out there. We played SEN and Rose Bowl. I know why they didn't have no NFL teams. Like 100%, they didn't need one. For what?
I saw that game with my brother.
Yeah, don't talk about that game. Bring up
I was like, jeez.
Bring up some other shit. That's it got real cold.
One of my favorite players, one of my favorite high school players of all time played on that USC team. R.I.P. to Joe McKnight. How fast was he on the field, Joe McKnight?
Oh, he was coming to our party for us. Like he was he was good, man. He was just smooth. Like it was crazy how good he was. Like he was just smooth. He caught like a swing.
Yeah,
he took it like 80.
I remember.
He took it like 80, but yeah, that they was ridiculous. Now think about this, right? Getting into NIL. Where Joe McKnight from? You know where he's from?
Louisiana.
Do Louisiana kids leave LSU?
No, yeah.
Hell no. So how much do you think he got off the fact that they just graduated Lindale and Reggie, and they got to get Joe McKnight out of Louisiana?
Yeah.
Come to Hollywood, kid. But even still, the development and things that going. Joe was the number 1 or 2 recruit in the country. He went in the 5th round.
He was.
He went in the 5th round.
He was. To the Jets, I think.
To the Jets. He went in the 5th round. It's so much that go into that, man. Like that NFL, you could be the top number 1 player in the country and go undrafted.
That's
insane, undrafted.
But not insane, but when you got a big talent pool like it is, like in college in general, what is it? 8 rounds, 7 rounds, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not really uncommon, for a guy to be like in the top 100 and probably go like in the 4th or 5th round. You know what I mean? But
so much.
I always tell people though, when it comes to that, like when it comes to like the NFL in general, I don't care like what round a guy went. Like that guy's in the league for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Like, but it's so much stuff that go into football that make a 6th round pick make it. Like, like Brady might tell you one of the best things that happened to him was Charlie Weiss. Like you don't know that. Like the development that go into it. Like when Jeff Fisher was in with the Rams, golf was trash, and then when McVay come, it's just and sometimes people don't know in the league that number affects you a lot. Like, and it goes back to college. On the college roster, you got 115 guys, you got 70 guys traveling. In the league, you only got 53. So the sideline naked. So you only taking 6 receivers. Your 7th receiver might be nice, but you only got 6. You can only take 6. He get cut. He get picked up by somebody else who need a guy who just got hurt. Like, guys get cut all the time, not because they can't play. Keith Lewis will tell you this. Not because they can't play. They just only got room for 70 Bs. Yeah. Like if you in college and you are offensive lineman, if you don't play tackle and guard and you a backup, you done. You cooked. You done. Because everybody that's a backup, that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th guy, got to be able to play multiple spots.
Multiple spots, yeah.
Got to. When the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, when they beat the Packers, right? Mm-hmm. Man, what's the name was so down with injuries? They had a D lineman playing guard. The Packers, because they only carried 8 linemen, and 2 of them got hurt. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot that go into that league, and if you can't learn that system, you can't learn that terminology, your ass ain't gonna be out there. You're not gonna be out there. You're not dead. You can cancel that.
All right. So before I go to a quick break and we wrap this show up and do. You said you stand for the pit segment, right?
I stay.
All right, it's only 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like the pit segment, they know how we give it up in the pit, man. You get a chance to ask myself and CJ any sports-related question in the world. We got to answer it.
Oh, what was your question? I got to be prepared.
Yeah. I'm put the battery in your back early. I'll put the battery in your back early. But before we do that, I want to get your final thoughts, your parting shots on HBCUs, PWIs, Power Fives, the gap closing or not, what needs to happen. I just want you to go ahead.
I think the other thing that's misleading about it is when people I see people sharing kids transferring from Power Fives down. Oh, he was a 3-star, he was a 4-star. That's been happening forever. Like kids realize they go to these schools, they're not that good, they transfer down, they get in trouble, whatever the case may be. That's not a sign. That's honestly not a sign. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. But when I say the type of money, a smooth $1 billion.
You said what?
A smooth $1 billion.
You think it'll take
no
$1 billion?
No. If you take Clemson, Alabama, let's take Florida, Georgia, and let's take Ohio State. In the last 5 years, they all put $200 million into their athletic facilities. Just them 5.
Okay.
That's $1 billion. And to spread it out amongst the HBCUs with recruiting budgets and facilities. There you go. There go your that would put you up there with them, but I don't think that they should start there. I think they should start trying to. I think the first thing they need to do is get in the FCS playoff. Then they could steal some of that talent that go over there, that go to those facilities, and then, like, remember Appalachian State beat Michigan when I was playing. Now all of a sudden they are D1. They're in the same conference as Temple and all of that. I think that they got to work their way up through there. They got to get in the FCS playoff. Like that's non-negotiable because kids gonna be like, who am I playing?
Yeah.
Who am I playing? You have to show that you can compete with those first white institutions. That North Dakota State done won like 6 out of the last 9. North Dakota State.
Is North Dakota moving up? I think
no, they're not. But guess what? 60% of the kids on their team come from Florida. You can recruit them, but you gotta go play again. A biggest thing coaches always have: we beat them. Come play with us. We beat them. Go beat them, and then you can steal a lot of transfers that drop down and go to North Dakota State. You can steal some bounce backs that go big, go JUCO, and then come back. So appreciate you, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. With that being said, I'm about to go to this quick break. When we come back for the last 5 minutes of the stream, we're going to do the pitch segment. Have y'all questions ready because I'm about to set it off early with CJ. I'm going to set it off early. We're going to be right back, y'all. While I'm waiting on CJ to come right back, and he's coming right back, I'm gonna set it off with you real quick because I see you rank in the comments with your first question. I'm gonna set it off real quick. So CJ, I had a question. I've been beating that.
It better not say nothing with elite, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna set it off early. I got 2 questions for you, but I'm gonna ask my first one first, and then I'm gonna go to the chat before I follow. Do you think that Cooper Kupp is elite?
I think he's having an elite season. I think he is.
Where do you rank him?
As far as receivers in the league right now?
I'll
pose that as my question as on it, but I can't really think about it right now. I just know like he producing. Like I take production over talent any day. Like Absolutely. I do. Production over talent. Talent will get you fired. I just think he having a really elite season. If he turned into it, he got to do this for 2-3 years. Remember, Antonio Brown did like 110 plus catches 6 years straight. 6 years straight. Like that's different. So what he doing right now, he got to come close to that for the next 2 for him to be up there. Like, but I think he having an elite season. I think he hard to guard. I think that teams are game planning for him. Do that make you elite? If teams game planning for you, I want to make Vino mad. Do they game plan for Allen Robinson? Do you game plan or you just put your best guy on?
Allen Robinson.
him.
He hates Allen Robinson.
But I think he having an elite season. I just think you gotta put them years back to back. He been having great years. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's
been having really good years.
Crazy
Like,
year.
He been having some really, really good years. But he having a great year, bro. Other thing, how I see you as elite, when your GM pay you. If your GM pay you, you elite. But he ain't close to making that 12+ range. Where you at, 7, 8? So when he come back, do the GM think he elite? Do the coach think he elite? Do they pay you like you?
Well, I was about to say, dude, are you gonna pay me like I'm elite?
When it was time for Odell to renew his deal, did anybody think he was getting less than 15?
Yeah, true. So now we'll see. Okay, yeah.
Now, if he had 2 catches in the playoffs, they gonna go crazy. They gonna go
listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, you know how it is. You know how it is when people be picking up a player, right? Mm-hmm. And you be like, yo, like, I think he's cold. I just don't see him how you see him. So then you start looking at him now, like,
yeah. And if he had 2.
If he got 2 catches in the playoffs, bro, I'm on your ass in the
somebody tuck his ass in the playoffs. They go, hey, somebody go say, don't y'all ever bring that up ever again.
Ever again. People gonna say it now, because now it's gonna hang on. At least in the pit, it's gonna hang on.
It's gonna. Somebody gonna say, you remember what he did in the playoffs? I don't care what he did right now. You remember what he did in the playoffs?
I think Cooper Kupp is cold, man, but like
I do too.
You know, I do think it's only. I think it's again, my definition of elite is much different than a lot of guys.
Yeah.
When we say elite, like, I feel like it's only a couple of those people in the league, yet alone at positions, right? Like,
right.
I think probably like an offensive lineman, you probably might have like the most elite players in the league, like along the offensive line, right?
Yeah.
That receiver though, bro, I really think there's only 3 of those guys. Like, I really do.
I think it's more than
everybody else is very fucking good.
I think it's more than 3. I just think that I know from being in them rooms how a coach can handicap you, or a system can handicap you from doing stuff. Like, they could really, like, they could hold you back. Like, Andre Johnson was in Houston forever. What if he played with? I ain't getting into that. Go ahead. Whatever question you got.
But it's all good. Let me see what we got here. Have we ever seen an NBA team play so well without an actual MVP like the Phoenix Suns? Oof. Yes. First of all, I don't listen. Chris Paul is, he's not an MVP, but Chris Paul is Chris Paul. But yes, I will say
the Pistons.
The Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pistons.
They didn't have an MVP on that team.
I would say the Pistons, and I would say, them old Houston Rockets teams before they got James Harden. They had like Shane Battier and Kyle Lowry in them. They just winning a lot of games, winning 50 games. So yeah, I would say yeah, Brady. I would definitely say yeah. I'm gonna get this to you, CJ. Who should be considered America's team because it's not the Dallas Cowboys? I hope you ain't a Cowboy fan.
It was. No, I'm a bandwagon.
Oh, no, that's me. That's me, 100%.
When Brady was playing with the Patriots, that was America's team.
Oh, I can't really hear you. What's going on with the audio? Like, maybe it's me. Hey guys, can you guys hear us? I just want to make sure. I don't know what's going on. He'll be right back. He probably clocked out right back. But yeah, who should be considered America's team? For me, it's the Patriots, right? For me, it's the Patriots. I think it's hard to say that the Patriots aren't America's team. For me, you know what I mean? Now, I think that I think if you ask, I think if it's the I think if you, and I wonder if that's it is Mike. Okay, thanks, Ray. I wonder if that's if America's team would be more so a Tom Brady thing when he's with the Patriots, but I think the Patriots, because of what they represented from the first reign and their consistency, their model of consistency, I would say the Patriots if it's not the Cowboys. But I don't hear a lot of people saying they're Cowboys fans now. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if it's a lot of Cowboy fans in here, if you're a Cowboy fans, please say something in the chat. But I don't know a lot of people saying they Cowboys fans. To be honest, I know a couple of Cowboys fans. My brother's a Cowboy fan. My man Chuck T is a Cowboys fan, but I don't know a lot of. Damn, I got some. Hold on, I got some questions here. I'm gonna try to stay and answer these questions. Where we at? Is it time for the Lakers to start thinking about rearranging their roster? Like I said last week, I still think it's too early, man. If I thought it was too early last week, I think it's too early this week. Look, man, the Lakers are in a. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna shoot straight with you. I don't think the Lakers are in this position if AD plays better. I'm sorry. I don't think the Lakers are in this position, and I got CJ back. I don't think the Lakers are in this position if CJ. No, I'm sorry. I was about to say CJ. I don't think the Lakers are in this position if AD plays better. That's just me. Like I think if AD played a lot better, then the Lakers wouldn't even be in the situation that they're in. But I mean, it is what it is. They've been dealing with injuries. I think they got a lot of flaws on the roster. For one, I think they're as old as my grandfather. But like Lakers can't even do nothing if they wanted to. I agree, though. Like, I don't think they have anybody on their roster that guys would be like, oh yeah, let me get him. Like, right. Like I said, they roster dope as hell for 2014. 2014, that's a cold ass roster. 2021, 2022, no sir. How many threes do you think Steph finishes career with? I'll be honest, I don't even know. He might even. I don't know. I don't know who has the most threes. I wish Fact Check Malcolm was here to pull it up. I don't know who has the most threes in NBA history as far as like not completion percentage, but as far as like 3-pointers made. But whoever that is, that shit smoked. Like Steph definitely gonna crush that. I got another question for you, CJ, before I get you up out of here, man. It's gonna be one that's gonna set it up, man.
Okay.
Jay Rice versus Randy Moss.
Cut it out, man. I'm not answering that question, man.
Jerry, right now. I need that.
I'm not answering that question.
You ain't gonna answer it.
I got Randy. I got Randy.
I hope this the right button. Hold on.
I got Randy. No questions. 10 times out of 10.
That ain't the right button. I always want to try to find out what these are right here. You got wait, hold on. You said you had Randy?
I got Randy 10 times out of 10.
You got Randy? Oh,
I got Randy 10 times out of 10.
Can you tell me why? Because I swear to God.
All right. Hear me out. Hear me out on this.
Hold on.
They don't listen.
Let me turn you up in the headphones.
I hope it.
Go crazy.
Listen. I just think it's some things that Randy can do that Jerry can't. Mm-hmm. Physically. It's just some things that he can't do. And we're not finna sit here and act like that Steve Young and Joe Montana don't make a difference. The man played with them his whole career. His whole career.
Listen.
He played with 2 Hall of Famers.
Back to back.
His whole career. Randy played with Tom 1 year, and broke the touchdown record.
Yeah.
1 year.
Like he played with somebody said Coach. Yeah, that's you.
That's me. I already know who that is.
Hey, that read my man Law say facts. And all I know is that, listen, man. I always ask people, what do you think would happen if I gave Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, T.O., if I gave them Joe Montana and Steve Young back to back?
Man, listen.
If I gave back to back.
Man, listen.
Randy Moss went to New England.
I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing away from Jerry. Jerry is great, but we not finna just gloss over that. Like, but we not just finna these people was already winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
This is another thing, and this is for all my football heads. What offense did he come play in? that just got invented.
You said what offense he couldn't?
No, what offense did he jump in at? Just got invented.
Oh,
Let's
West
go.
Coast.
Just got
And
invented.
you know what? Which is a pass first offense, by the way.
Man, listen, man.
At a time where defenses was playing 8 in the box down there.
Man, listen, man. Don't get them people. We're not gonna do this today, man.
I always feel like everybody be like, well, you know, he still got records. He still got records.
He do, and that's what we ain't saying. I ain't saying he ain't top 5. I ain't saying he ain't top 5 all time. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's physically some things that Randy can do that Jerry just can't do. Physically. Like, and I'm taking that.
And you know what I see in the pit a lot, I see guys say like, well, you know, if Cooper Kupp is doing this, what you think Jerry would do? I'd be like, okay.
Not in today's, and I don't think that I don't. Oh shit, we're gonna get into something.
No, let's go. I got time.
I don't think that's a fair assessment for us to gauge like late 80s, early 90s athletes. I don't think that's fair. Like Deion was Deion. Jalen Ramsey 2 inches taller than Deion, and like it's just so many guys that's just like freak athletes.
That's just physically.
That's just, and it's like in the league, like okay, man, I don't remember no Jadeveon Clowneys and what's the dude that played for Washington that just tore his ACL? Young. I don't see guys that look like that, like that physically, like from that time. Like, okay, you give me the DBs from Jerry years. They gonna give me Aeneas Williams. They gonna give me Deion. They gonna give me Aeneas. They gonna give me Deion. They gonna give me Rob Wilson. They gonna give me them 3. But out of all of the guys I named, like Deion really the most physically. Okay, and you know who else they gonna give me? They gonna give me fucking Darryl Green.
Man, nah, man.
They gonna give me Darryl Green.
Nah, man, I ain't going with Darryl Green, man.
And that's what they gonna. Them the DBs. I just think that it's just a different time now. Like it's just. I feel
like when you have these four, and I'm gonna get it. And it's gonna transition to the question that's on the, because I know that's coming from Vino. I think Vino know how I feel about Emmitt Smith, but
no, Emmitt Smith is not the best running back.
not even close. But
not even close.
But I feel like you know what I feel like it really is, CJ. I feel like you have people. I feel like it's about the era that guys like really grew up in. They kind of favor those eras, right? Like, as
my boy Clarence Morgan would say, just because he playing in 4K don't mean he better.
That sounds like something he'll say.
He did say that. He said that.
I believe you too, because he got there. Like I like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like guys favor, like, but I feel like that's more so for the older generation though. Like I feel like, you know, I don't feel like it's the younger generation saying, oh well, you know, he played back there, fuck him. I feel like they only do that when you try to force that generation onto us. I feel like the 90s is
like they be saying LeBron wouldn't score.
Basketball history. Yeah.
That shit blows me.
I feel like the 90s is the most overrated era in the history of basketball. I really do. I'm just using it. I really do, bro. But I understand why it's overrated, because, like, I really do, bro. Like, nobody can explain to me when we talk about 90s basketball. Nobody can explain to me how from 91 to 98, 2 teams won the title, bro. Nobody can explain that to me. So if it was so fucking great, but it was
always like, that's what I think the league always been top heavy. Like I could give them the answers. Like it's always been top heavy. Like, okay,
years in the NBA.
Like, okay, 2 to 3 teams. What? No, 4 teams won a title in the 80s. 4, not 4. It's always been okay. The Lakers gonna come out the West. Like that's just
that's just what
come out
it
the
is.
East. Oh, Detroit came out the East. Okay.
But yeah, so for me, I feel like in basketball there has never been parity ever.
It's never been parity.
Like you go into every single every single season, and you know, come on, bro, you know.
It's never been parity in the NBA. I think this year it is. I think this year there's some parity.
I think this is a weird year.
How?
It's a weird year.
How so? You could make a case for four teams to come out of the East.
You can make it. I can make it for 4 teams to come out the East.
4 teams to come out of the East.
Milwaukee,
Miami, Chicago, and Brooklyn.
Chicago, and who?
Brooklyn.
Oh, and Brooklyn.
You can make a case.
Yeah,
you can make a smooth case. Like
in the West, I can make a case for
3.
Phoenix,
Golden State, and Utah. I don't think the Lakers will ever come out. You can make a case for Utah.
I mean, I seen this story. I seen this movie last year with Utah, but sure, why not? Utah. Donovan. If Donovan don't get hurt, you
can make it. So
that's
7 teams. The 7 teams you can legit say they can make it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
That's the most parity. Think about who the Lakers used to play when they used to come out of the West. When Kobe and Shaq was there, they played the fucking New Jersey Nets.
Bombs.
They played the Sixers. And did they play the Pacers one year?
Bombs.
No, they played right. The East was terrible when Mike left. Terrible.
Every last team the Lakers played in the place. And then they played some steppers and got smoked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but
when Kobe won in what? 2009? He played the Magic with Dwight and them?
Yeah.
Beat LeBron.
Damn, what's
that? It was one of them years. Damn, I don't know the exact year, but they know what year I'm talking about.
I mean, did anybody think Orlando was gonna beat the Lakers?
No, absolutely not.
Did anybody believe that?
There ain't never been no period in the NBA. Ever.
Never. Like I feel like when teams get to the finals in the NBA, like, come on, bro. Like you be knowing. Like I think it was one year where it was like, okay, I don't know. And that
might have been the year Detroit won.
The year Detroit.
No, everybody knew the Lakers was coming out the West. Everybody knew.
Yeah. The year Detroit
Gary Payton and Karl Malone was on that team.
Yeah, but those niggas was trash.
Oh yeah, he said
they were old.
Nah, yeah.
They were old. I'm not gonna call them trash. They were old.
That was good.
I want to hit this. I want to hit this Emmitt Smith question. Is Emmitt Smith the best running back with records? No, bro. Again,
I don't think nobody has ever said that he was the best. I've never heard of nobody saying like he's the best running back ever.
A product of the 90s. Again, the most I feel like the 90s in general is an overrated era when we talking about sports, man. I really do. Like, I really do. Like,
all right, so now I'm going to hold you the feet to the fire on your own show. So you saying Mike rings don't really count?
No, they count. You know what? I'm gonna be 100% real when it comes to Mike rings, right? I always felt this way about championships in general, right? I feel like if you win one, all right, that's what's up. Like, congratulations. I don't know what the hell that is. I thought I was hitting the clap button. But I feel like if you win one, congratulations, right? I feel like if you win 2, cool. I feel like if you win more than 2, you're fortunate as hell. Because I feel like it's hard to win. Shit, it's hard to win 1. So to get 6, now I look at Mike's situation, right? I look at his first ring. I'm just being brutally honest. I look at his first ring. I feel like, come on, bro. Like everybody had aged out by then. The golden era had aged out. The Pistons, the Lakers, the Celtics. You know what I mean? Those guys had aged out. But I'm cool with that ring. It's what it is, right? 92, they beat Portland. Was it Portland or Phoenix? I believe it was Portland.
They beat Portland. 93, they beat the Suns.
Now, Portland, I don't think nobody. Honestly, like when you go back and look at that, do you really believe that Portland was gonna beat the Bulls?
I mean, we don't
Like,
know though. That was a different time. Like I can't tell you that.
Now,
I just know that it was good.
93. Now 93 when they beat Phoenix, I would say dude was on some God shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like Buddy, like in Phoenix had won what 60-some games. You know what I mean? Barkley, Marley, Rex, and all them guys. I give them hella credit for that ring. You know, I give them hella credit for that ring because he balled out. Now, 96, bro. Like, come on, G. Like, they got the greatest roster in the history of basketball from 96 to 98. Did anybody really think they was gonna lose from 96 to 98, dog?
They almost lost to the Pacers.
Like, come on, bro.
And look, you got to think. You got to remember, Penny and Shaq was nice.
Yeah, Penny and Shaq was
like Penny, Shaq, Nick Anderson. They had a squad. Remember that they was nice. Everybody like, okay, they just lost in the finals. They still growing it, and then Mike sweep their ass the next year.
Yeah, they couldn't have been that nice.
We talking about Shaq and Penny though,
bro. Mike in 96 had a full off season, so Shaq and Penny had a chance to hang their nuts down and say we like that, and they got their ass smoked. like, come on, bro. Like, but from 96 to 98, though, like the Bulls had the greatest roster in the history of basketball, in my opinion, bro. Like when you look at their roster, they had the greatest defender of all time. They had the greatest rebounder of all time. They had the greatest all-around player of all time. They had statistically at the time the best three-point shooter of all time. They had the greatest European player of all time at the time. With Kukoc, right? You know what I mean? Then they had Mike. They had the greatest coach of all time, bro. The Bulls, they had, bro. Come on, bro.
Ain't that what it takes to win championships, though?
Say it again.
Like, ain't that what it takes to win championships? Like, if you got the greatest players on your squad, you find out that they the greatest players because they gonna win chips. Like, it's an argument that Hakeem the greatest center of all time.
Absolutely.
Okay, he won a chip.
Yeah. Hakeem is the only guy besides Kawhi in Toronto that I saw win a chip with like just a bunch of serviceable pieces.
I don't know. I like that chip in Detroit. That holds a lot of weight to me.
I always believe we only got 5 minutes for a couple of minutes. I always felt like that Detroit ring was I always felt that Ben Wallace was the superstar on that team, and people give me shit about that.
I don't think so. I don't agree with you.
I felt like Ben Wallace.
He ain't scoring no buckets. I mean, he playing defense, but you got to put the ball in the hole.
And when you look at his resume says and he's a Hall of Famer. When you look at his resume says like, yo, I was the superstar on this team.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
He was on a couple of video games and shit. Like, he was on a couple of 2K, but he was a superstar, bro.
I don't think so. That roster, that starting five, that five to finish the game with, nice. Chauncey, Rip, Tayshaun, Rasheed, and Ben.
Ooh,
everybody getting 16, 17. Everybody.
That was nasty. But I think that would, you know what? I can make an argument that that's the greatest starting five in NBA history.
I'm an old head. That Lakers Worthy, Magic, and Kareem. That's nasty. Just them three.
Who's the other two? AC Green and Dennis Scott.
Yeah. Oh, Byron Scott.
Byron Scott. I said Dennis Scott. Byron Scott.
That five.
Yeah,
that Lakers five. That Lakers five.
Yeah, never mind.
That Lakers five was tough.
Never mind. They had a cheat code. Never mind.
Yeah. Niggas gonna get mad, but that's why I be looking at Magic. Like, you play with Kareem.
Hey, no, we ain't doing no Magic slander.
You play with Kareem.
What does that mean? You gotta explain that to me. What that means?
Who ain't gonna be the greatest point guard ever?
No, we're not doing that.
I'm messing with. See, look.
No, we're not.
For real though. You play with Kareem.
We're not doing that. We're not doing no Magic Johnson slander.
Everybody up on the table. You play with Kareem. You play with Kareem. People get on LeBron. You play with D Wade. You play with Kareem. Kareem's second in points. What is it? Second or third?
My argument has always been that, like, in my opinion, if I can debate that somebody else is as good or as much as worthy of a GOAT debate, then it ain't no GOAT. I've always argued that Magic. I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip Baylor's train of thought there. I hate Skip Bayless, but when he says about the Hall of Fame, it's true. He always says like, "Oh, if I gotta think twice, then you ain't first ballot." Hey, I kind of agree with that. If I gotta really think about it, like, damn, is he first ballot? Then he ain't first ballot.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
When we talk about Magic, I always felt that like with Magic, how can you tell Magic that he isn't the greatest basketball player of all time? And I know people would say like, well, you know, he even said to himself that Jordan is the best ever, right? But I don't care what he said. I'm telling you what I see. We talking about a guy who had a 13-year career and went to the finals 9 times. Like he went to the finals 9 times out of his 4. It was only 4 years. That man was sitting at the crib. Like 4 years out of 13 years that he's sitting at the crib.
But who is he playing with? Who is he playing with? He playing with the
jumper. Come on, man.
Never seen him shoot a jumper. That stiff ass jump shot. You right.
Hey, come on. Magic is the only player I've ever seen in basketball. And I'm not saying that like I seen Magic when I was young, but from what I've seen from, you know, stats and just like you know what I mean. But he's the only player that I've seen other than LeBron James who came into the league understanding what it took to win at a high level.
He played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I mean, yeah, he played with Kareem.
How much credit? Y'all see Scotty had to write a book to get his credit. Scotty had to, y'all forget that this man Kareem was the all-time leader in points.
Shout outs to Scotty, man. Shout outs to
Fuck
Scotty,
man. Bomb ass.
What you want with Scotty?
Yeah, boy, go write that book.
Hey, with that being said, man, like I have to get up out of here because I got another show about to come on our Twitch channel. Scotty and Lane.
Scotty and Lane.
Hey, CJ, man, like I definitely appreciate you. We got to do this again because I definitely want to talk to you about some more stuff, like about everything that you got going on, like personally with your nonprofit with Heroh. Shout outs to Heroh and everything like that. We gonna have to do this again, bro.
No doubt.
So I definitely want to appreciate you for coming on. 8 o'clock. If you on the Twitch right now, you gotta know she said what she said. It's about to come on. If you on the pitch, she said what she said. We're also going to air it inside the Players Pit as well with Sherry and B. Dope ass women doing dope ass things in sports. So y'all make sure y'all tune into that. You know what I'm saying? let me pin that right there. Coach, there you go, man. CJ, we gonna do this again.
Appreciate it, man. No doubt.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it with you and Vino, man.
Please don't. I can't do it with Vino. He gonna make me laugh.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all make sure y'all holler. See, he's in the pit. You can touch him, man. Like you can touch him. Pause. You can touch him, man. He's in the pit. Y'all will be able to, you know, holler at him about anything with his nonprofit foundation, Heroh. What he, you know, his experiences as a head football coach of Morgan Park and things of that nature. With that being said, I gotta get up out of here. I'm over the limit. I don't want B and Sherry to kick my ass. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Next week, we'll be back next week. Another dope ass show, another dope ass guest, and I might even be somewhere else doing that show. Probably won't be at the crib. It's gonna be something dope. I'll holler at y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Share the broadcast. If you're on the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, man. Do not make me keep saying it. Subscribe to the goddamn YouTube. Because if you don't subscribe to the YouTube, I'm kicking you at the pit. Because like
that's not how the game is played.
Subscribe to the goddamn YouTube, the Players Pit Show. I'll holler at y'all, man. I love y'all.